Hello everyone, my name is Sutton the Wolf, and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. We got a pretty big exposition bomb last time. So apparently, this organization has been watching us for the entirety of this adventure, pretty much. And Aoi-san, I'm guessing, is like a spy of some kind. She kind of lured us to capture us, I guess. I really hope she's not in on Sorino's death. Like, I really hope so, because I actually quite liked Aoi-san. We are captured and we are like strapped down to a stretcher in a sketchy organization facility place, and we got talked to by the president of the Connect Center. I forget what his name was, but we were basically offered a spot to join him, and we didn't, and so now he's mad. But, alright. But apparently Aoi-san came in after Reina and has a gun pointed at her back. Oh, and they tried to convince us that Reina is not our friend, but we don't believe them. Aoi-san's looking down, so I can't make out her expression. With a gun pointed at her back, Reina looks at me like she's trying to tell me something while biting her lips. I had wanted to believe that I just imagined seeing Aoi-san point a gun at us back there at the station. I had hoped it was just an optical illusion or something. However, the reality unfolding before my eyes right now dashes all such hopes. What are you doing, Aoi-san? Why are you doing this to us? Oh, did they... Maybe she looks pained, so my guess initially off of that would be like, maybe they threatened her by saying like, oh, we're gonna erase Sorino's memories or something, or we can get her back if you do this. Say something, Aoi-san! Aoi-san doesn't look my way even once. She just stands there pointing her gun at Reina. Maybe Aoi-san isn't acting out of her own will. See, that's what I thought. I really want to believe that. Are you being threatened? There's no way you actually want to do this, right? Kuroda-san. There's no way she wants to do this. As if to deny my words, Aoi-san interrupts me and begins speaking. I was told by Kuroda-san. For an instant, a wave of relief washes over me when I hear that. She was made to do this by Kuroda. In that case, she doesn't have a choice. That's what I assumed she meant. However, her next words completely blow my expectations away. If I do as he asks, he said he'll give me Sorino's memory data. Okay. Oh, so Sorino won't... I was close. I was... Yeah, I pretty much guessed that. If they help her, they're not gonna erase Sorino's memory and like give it to her. They're gonna give it to her. No way. Kuroda was obviously lying. If you think of everything he's done so far, it's clear he won't keep his promise. Do you really believe that? Aoi-san! If I don't do anything, at this rate, Sorino's memories will vanish from this world sooner or later. So that's why... So that's why what? Sorino wouldn't want you to do something like this? It's hard to like mimic the emotion going on here, because I don't want to like destroy my audio. And what do you think you've done to condemn me? Or what right do you think you have to condemn me? Aoi-san's scream is filled with more grief than I've ever heard from her. Aoi-san glares at me and grips the gun even tighter. Her eyes are filled with anger. Anger directed towards me, and anger directed towards herself. What's the difference in what you guys did and what I'm doing right now? If you think about it, she's betraying us to try and get her sister back, hang on to her sister as long as she can, and we broke the law to try and find out the truth. I mean, I guess she's got a point. This is all your fault, Hiroki. If you hadn't shown me Sorino again back then, I would have been able to just give up on her. Aoi-san averts her gaze and smiles sadly. I kept telling myself, Sorino is no longer here. You need to accept that the whole time. But then when Sutton appeared before me again, I knew. As long as I have her memory data, I can be with Sutton forever. See, that's the difficult part about this, because if you have her memory data, it's like she's there, but she's not. It's a representation of her. This was what I had really wanted the whole time. Aoi-san's voice is trembling, and tears are spilling from her eyes. Hiroki, don't you think the same? So please, try to understand. This is all I can do for Sutton now. So please, don't stop me. Okay, so she's not like an agent or anything. She's not evil. She's just kind of delusional. She wants to see her sister again. She's in grief. That's understandable. The tears are streaming down her face now. I wish they'd like drawn that. They didn't draw that, unfortunately. Even though you know you'll be living a lie, you still want to go through with this? I'm an idiot, aren't I? Her words just sound so sad. This is the only thing she can do for her beloved little sister now. But why does it have to be so sad? Reina starts crying after she hears Aoi's story. Reina desperately holds back her sobs as tears begin to streak down her face as well. Well, damn, this is depressing. Holy fuck. Damn. I'm so sorry. There's nothing you need to apologize for. I decided all of this for myself. As she finishes speaking, I can see the resolve in her eyes. It's impossible to change Aoi-san's mind now. I hear the sound of applause coming from the AR display. Kuroda, that was the name of the president guy. Man, that was a great show. I even feel like crying after watching that. It's exactly as Aoi-kun said. Do you understand now, Kusahara-kun? Kuroda glares at me. You're the only one I will never forgive. I'll stop his ambition no matter what the cost. If I don't, I won't be able to get Sutton, Reina, and Aoi-san back. I don't really need your forgiveness, you know. Have you taken a look at what kind of situation you're in right now? And this was just the prologue. The real thing starts now. Oh, is he gonna like torture Reina? Now, gentlemen, let us proceed to the next stage. Make the preparations. I don't like the sound of that. His eyes look creepy as hell. I see Kuroda stand up and raise his hand through the AR display. At a signal, the researchers all start moving at once. One of them heads over to the stretcher I'm on and removes just the belt restraining my left wrist. Another one brings some kind of metal gadget over to me. What's this? The researchers just silently put the gadget on the stretcher and attach it to my left wrist. Stop! I try and struggle, but only my left arm from the elbow down is free to move, so there's not really much I can do to stop them from affixing the gadget to my arm. Once my wrist is completely attached to the gadget, the researchers try putting my fingers onto the grooves at the end of it, one by one. I curl my hand up, trying to resist. I clench my hands to try and stop them, and another researcher brings over a cylindrical rod and taps my arm with it. Fucking hell, I didn't expect that, like, visual effect. That was good. Or at least it was cool. I don't know if it was good or not. I didn't see it very, very long. It was effective. The moment he does so, a strong electrical shock runs through my body, and I reflexively unclench my hands. The instant I do so, the researchers put my fingers in place. With that, they manage to restrain each of my fingers all the way up to the second joint. There's an AR display next to the machine, letting out an electronic beep at periodic intervals. My heart starts to beat faster. What is all this? What's going to happen next? Now then, Kusahara-kun. I am very interested in learning more about your recovery abilities. Oh my god, are they going to torture me and see how well I can recover? One of the researchers standing next to the door walks over to Aoi-san. He takes Aoi-san's gun and hands her something else in its place. This is... She's staring in confusion as what has just been handed to her.
Aoi-kun,
Aoi-kun, with your hands, cut off one of Kusahara-kun's fingers. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. This can only end badly. She's either going to refuse and they're gonna kill her, or, like, they're either gonna... I mean, they'd probably kill her. They're either going to... She's gonna refuse and they'll kill her, or she'll do it and I'll, like, lose a finger. And then they'll betray her. Did Kurita just say what I think he said? I look at the object in Aoi-san's hand. It looks almost like a pair of pliers, except the ends are edged and meant for cutting. But when I look closer, the edged ends are longer than usual and curved in a strange way. Aoi-san's holding the pliers with a bewildered look on her face. Don't worry, it's the design so even a girl like you can use them easily. Oh god, that's rough. Like, just imagine, like, a pair of scissors that, like... Oh god, that's rough. Kurita gestures to me, urging Aoi-san on. No, go ahead. I can't. Aoi-san tightly presses the pliers to her chest and shakes her head. So you can't do it then? Oh god, I don't want them to kill her. She's even, like, in the center of the screen. I see. Kurita looks at her indifferently. I was simply trying to give you a chance. If you really don't mind never being able to see your precious little sister again, then... Please wait! Sure, I'll wait as long as you need. We have nothing but time, after all. But don't forget that Sorino's memories are on a time limit, right? That's a bit of a typo. It should be R on a time limit. It just says on a time limit. Kurita, shut the hell up! I don't care either way. The decision is yours. This is... You know, of the villains that I've seen in these kinds of things, Kurita's not a bad one. He's not a bad villain. Aoi-san stares at the object in her hand, pale-faced. She's seriously considering it. Whether or not she will cross that line and throw her morality away. Aoi-san, don't be deceived by what he says, please! You can still... Aoi-san looks at me. The resolve in her eyes is almost too painful to look at. I can still turn back. Is that what you were going to say, Hiroki? Turn back to what exactly? Turn back to a world without Sorino? What's left in my life to go back to? Aoi-san walks over to me, holding the pliers tightly. Oh, they're like making her sprite grow bigger. That's good. Aoi-san! Is she actually going to cut my finger off? Stop, Aoi! Dana yells at Aoi-san and tries to go after her, but her researcher holds her back. Let me go! No, Hiroki! Aoi! Aoi-san doesn't once turn back to Dana as she deliberately walks over to me. My heart starts lurching as if it's suddenly come alive. My breath comes in short gasps. My heart's beating so fast it hurts. Aoi-san, you can't! She can't. Nothing good will come from this. I need to get away from Aoi-san. I struggle with all my strength and try to escape the stretcher I'm strapped down to. The only sounds that can be heard in the room are Aoi-san's footsteps and my stretcher clattering. Finally, Aoi-san stops in front of my left arm. Oh my god.
Aoi-san.
I'm about to say Aoi-san when I suddenly gasp. Aoi-san's eyes. Though tears are still streaming down her face, her eyes have become devoid of all expression. Aoi-san is really going to cut my finger off. Now then, Kusahara-kun, which finger do you think we should start with? Oh, fuck, I have to pick? Pinky. Those are less useful. Pinky is less useful. Kusahara-kun, did you know that the sensation of feeling for your fingertips and the sensation of feeling for the palm of your hand split at the nerves in the center of your ring finger? In other words, if we want to observe how you recover after having the nerves in your hand cut off, we'd get the best results by cutting off your ring finger. Ow. Oh, I didn't even get to choose? Is that like... Is them cutting off my ring finger symbolic of them, like, cutting my ties with Sutton? That'd be... I doubt it, but that'd be pretty neat if that's what the underlying meaning is there. Because, like, you know, they love each other, and so it's like the whole we'd be married kind of thing. Aoi-san does as she's told and takes my left hand. Please, stop. I desperately try to move the fingers on my left hand and somehow escape what I know is coming. However, my resistance is futile, and Aoi-san grasps my left ring finger with her hand. Oh, fuck. Are they actually doing that? Oh my god. Aoi-san's hand is dreadfully cold. I can tell that her fingers are shaking slightly. This is messed up. Oh my god. Suddenly, I feel the cold edge of the blade on my finger joints. Oh god, they even... Oh no! Oh no! Oh, dear lord. I'm so cold. My whole body is trembling. They're not actually... You know, I could see them actually doing this. I could see it. I mean, he's got regenerative properties, so he can grow it back. I guess. I would imagine, right? The cold coming off the blade, and Aoi-san's hand is spreading throughout my entire body. That's the kind of issue with this kind of character in Hiroki, is that you can do whatever you... There's a good thing and a bad thing about it. The good thing is that you can do whatever you want to him. You can actually, like, I would not be surprised in the slightest if they actually cut his finger off right now. Because, and like, it would add to the scene. It would be like an oh fuck kind of moment. But the bad thing is it kind of loses the sensation of it when it's like, well, he's going to grow it back. So it's like, what's the danger? There's like no responsibility or anything. Why did things turn out this way? My teeth are chattering, the noise of them clicking together echoing in my head. Even though I'm so cold, sweat is pouring down my forehead. Oh my god. Oh man, she's hesitating. Aoi, please stop! Trying to shut out Aina's desperate pleas and her own feelings, Aoi-san tightly shuts her eyes.
Hiroki.
I'm sorry, Hiroki. Aoi-san mutters just that before applying force to the pliers. And... Oh my god. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh my god. I mean, I like that. That's good for the game, but oh my god. Ah. Oh, the sound. Oh, the sound. Whew. I did not like that going right to my ear holes. That. Ooh. Chills. Ooh, good for you, game. Oh, good for you for getting me to feel that. Oh, man. It's been a while since this game actually made me feel as intensely as it should. And that one got me. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, God. Just the sound is reverberating in my mind. Oh, and the image of it, like, closing down on it. Whew. Good job, game. Pain blots out any other thoughts. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hope she doesn't go insane. I like her. Come on. Congratulations, Aoi-kun. You've endured a difficult choice and gotten one step closer to your dream. I really hope she doesn't kill herself. For just the price of your friend's finger, your dear sister will come back to you. I'd say that's pretty cheap. That is fucked up. Damn. Hiroki! Someone please stop the bleeding! Elena's shouting brings me back to my senses. Feels like fireworks are going off inside my head. My blurry vision gradually grows clear, and the world goes from pure white to one of color. Is it going to regenerate? The feeling in my left hand has long since surpassed pain, and now is nothing more than a burning sensation. Oh my god, this is good. This is a good scene. Aoi-san squatting on the ground, her head cradled in her hands. God, just like, look at the imagery here. This is like a simple drawing of her eyes, but like, it does so much to just add to the emotion of it. Like how roughly her face is drawn. Like, you could just see like the raw emotion, and it also is kind of symbolic of how her mind is just kind of like in tatters right now. Like, that's well done. Her hands are shaking tremendously, her eyes unfocused. The pliers are on the floor, covered in blood. Oh yeah, she actually cut my finger off. Aoi-san's no longer able to form words, her voice coming out in garbled sobs. I suppose that was a bit too stimulating for our friend here. Gentlemen, would you kindly escort Aoi-kun to another room? At Kurita's command, the researchers half drag Aoi-san to the door. I mean, there's, like, they might give me a chance later, after I escape somehow, to, like, if I do escape. I'm assuming I'm going to escape at some point. They might give me some kind of option to forgive Aoi. And of course I'm going to. Like, that kind of situation, like, how could I hold that against her, you know? Like, obviously I wouldn't do the same thing, but like, it's easy for me to say that, or, well, okay, I don't have any idea what it's like to be in that situation where it's like, hey, you have to cut your friend's finger off to get your sister back. I don't know what that's like. That is a terrible thing to have to go through. What I meant is that I disagree with what she's doing. I think that she should have, difficult or not, she should have not gone through with this because, like, it's not really Sorino and the guy's probably lying. So, like, I understand why she did it, and it's very difficult to even comprehend the situation she's in, much less comprehend the willingness that you would have to, or the courage you would have to say that you're not going to go along with that. And so I'm fine with that. But I really hope they don't kill off Aoi, because I like her a lot. I have a bad feeling that they're going to. I have a bad feeling that she's going to get herself killed for our sake, and then her last words are going to be something like at least being able to see Sorino again. Because I have a feeling we're not going to get Sorino back. Like, she's dead. I have a feeling we're not going to ever get her back. And we're going to have to say goodbye for her, quite tearfully. And I have a feeling they're just going to have Aoi-san get killed and, like, be with Sorino again. Aoi-san doesn't respond to the words I'm barely able to rasp out. The researchers then drag her out to the door, and she disappears down the hallway. Now then, how do you feel, Kusahara-kun? This bastard. Because of him, Aoi-san. I'd only been able to feel a burning sensation before, but the pain is finally starting to return to my left hand. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. I want to make him feel this pain. No, I want to make him feel pain worse than this. I want to make that pitch black man in front of me suffer even worse than I am. Very good indeed. I can't have you dying on me just yet. However, it looks like an entire body part is a bit too much for even your powers to regenerate. Oh, is that not going to regenerate? Well, I can't say I didn't expect this. Now then, let's see how your breath, breathing, and blood pressure are doing. Kurita looks at another AR display that's showing a few numbers, nods, and then looks back at me. Now then, I hope this little experiment showed you what it means to stand on the side of the conquerors. What are they gonna do with me now? Like, they can easily kill us. Kurita says this, his voice completely devoid of any feeling. He doesn't feel guilty about this one bit. Experiment? Are you sure you don't mean torture? Props to the voice actors for, like, actually having quite a lot of emotion portrayed in this. It is difficult to do that. That depends on the goals and thoughts of the man on the administering side. This is all important research for the future that is to come. How on earth is this? You'll understand soon enough. Now then. This is not an order, but a request made from the bottom of my heart, Kusuhara-kun. Won't you stand with us? Oh no. Are they... Is this going to be a timed choice of saying that I have to work for him? Because if that's the case, then I'm worried about saying no. Because if I say no, then he can just kill me. And this game has proven that if you say the wrong answer, that you just get killed. But if I say yes, I have to go against everything I stand for. So if I get asked that, I'm going to say I'm not going to do it. Then probably get killed, and then I'll have to go back and be forced to say yes. A request from the bottom of your heart? That's nothing more than a threat, and you know it. You can force me to obey if you want. If I say I've changed my mind, maybe the torture will end here. But that won't change anything, really. Even if I escape this room, all that would remain is becoming Kurita's pawn like Sigma, and dying in the end anyway. It's even more humiliating than dying here. Kusuhara-kun? Kurita asks for an answer, and I simply glare back at him silently. That's the greatest act of defiance I can do right now. I see. Very well. Okay, good. They're not actually making me choose. In that case, we shall continue. I hope you are prepared, Kusuhara-kun. I look over at Reina. She's been crying and screaming this whole time. She looks completely exhausted. Tears of despair well up in her eyes. Hiroki, what should I do? Close your eyes. That's all I'm able to force out of my hoarse throat. By the way, there's something I've always been wondering. When your left ring finger was cut off, it was clearly cut off from you. In other words, you is the part that was left over. That much is obvious still. But if we cut you in half, what will that do? But if I split you cleanly in half from head down, which half would be you? Which part would still have your consciousness? I knew it! That's a... You know, this, for an insane experimentation that this guy's doing, he's doing it well. Chills run down my spine when I hear Kurita say that. If it's the side with the greater volume of mass, I guess your left side would lose out since it's already lost a finger. And is the heart on the left or the right side? I forget. It's the left, that's right. Follow your heart and you will always be right is the trick to get you to go to the left to follow your heart. Okay, so that's how I remember that my heart is on the left side. So I don't know, the organs are split differently though, because I think like other organs are on the right side too. So I'm not sure how that would work. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments below. Or perhaps it's the dominant side of your brain that will retain your consciousness. I believe you're right-handed, so that would mean the left side of your brain is the dominant one. Is that true? Again, let me know. I don't know about that. If that's true, that's interesting. Or perhaps it will just mean that there will be two yous. This is fucked up. I suddenly imagine them cutting me in half with a chainsaw. I imagine what it would feel like to have my head cut open by a chainsaw. how painful it would be to feel myself literally cut in half. And what would happen to me afterwards? What would happen to me afterwards? It's scary imagining something that surpasses your understanding, doesn't it? Well, we'll leave that part for the end. There's still much more to be done, Kusahara-kun. God, is this just gonna be one long torture episode? Now, gentlemen, on to the next stage. The researchers once again start wordlessly preparing another machine. They gather around me and restrain my head this time, the last part of my body to still have any free range of movement at all. Once they're finished with that, I feel them tighten all the other belts restraining my body. My head's been completely restricted. I can't move it left, right, up, or down. I desperately strain my eyes to try and catch a glimpse of what they've done to my head. But no matter how far I move my eyes to the side, I can't see what it is. Unfortunately, I need to tighten your restraints. The next set of experiments that I'm about to conduct are all very delicate. I'm sure it will be very painful, but please do try to take it in stride. What? Now, in the year 2030, we've finally been able to map all of the brain's functions. We know which part of the brain is in charge of doing what now. Oh, fuck. Is he gonna mess with my brain to see what parts I can regenerate? Oh, God. But we're still not completely sure what happens to people when those portions of the brain are destroyed. Oh, that's so messed up. What is it that people can do and can't understand anymore? What kind of feelings they have? We don't know any of that. I said that kind of wrong. I hear a high-pitched metallic whirring close to my left ear. It's a sound you often hear at the dentist. Something starts moving on the apparatus they put my head in. Are they actually gonna cut my fucking head open? If they do that, you know, I don't want them to do that out of, like, my genuine desire to not be made so very uncomfortable. But I also want them to, just because that would be awesome of this game to do. If this game crossed that line to really make you understand how uncomfortable this is, that would be awesome. Oh, man. My heart feels like it's being squeezed. Yeah, my heart feels like it's being squeezed in a vice as terror assails me. Wait, stop! Let's see how you act after certain brain functions of yours are destroyed. The madness in Kuroda's eyes makes me tremble in fear. The dreadful whirring noise keeps getting closer and closer. Goosebumps rise on the entire left side of my face, and I tightly clench my right hand. I recommend staying as still as possible. Oh yeah, because if you move, he can just like cut straight through your fucking head. There's a momentary sensation of a needle stabbing into me, but many times more painful. A second later, I feel a hard impact on the left side of my temple. Oh my god, they actually cut my head. There's a place in the brain called the Broca's area that controls your language faculties. They're also known as the 44th and 45th Brodmann areas. They exist in the left side of your frontal lobe. Let's start with destroying those. I feel the pain of my skin being scraped away, along with the feeling of the bones inside my head vibrating. Holy shit! Oh my god! There's a really... The fact that they're describing it, too. Props. There's a really strong pressure as I feel something shoved deep inside my head from my left temple. Oh my god. Dana, close your eyes, girl. I hear Dana screaming from far away. She's definitely passed out. Feels like a ridiculously long amount of time has passed. When I come back to my senses, I realize that high-pitched whir and whatever it was that hit my head have both vanished. The left side of my temple is bleeding. I can feel the blood running down it through the pain. Oh, she didn't faint. Oh my god, she's just so traumatized. When I look over at Reina, I see that she's trying to squirm towards me, even though both her arms are held by a researcher. Oh my god, I'm like slightly gagging. Reina, it's dangerous, so stay back, is what I try and say, but... Back, Reina. Stay. Also, it's black. Oh my god, it like actually shut off part of my language capabilities. Is that really what I just said? Just a string of words that lack any sense of coherency. The moment I try and speak aloud the words I'm thinking in my head, they all get jumbled up. So there are errors in the pronunciation of phonemes. They're both transposed and substituted out incorrectly. So a complete loss of verbal fluency then. I have to like sit in a different position. I'm like into this now. Oh my god. Not to say that I'm into people getting their heads cut open. I mean like this game recaptured me. What is Kurita saying? What's happening to me? Kusuhara-kun, please take a look at my finger. Kurita raises his right index finger and slowly moves it back and forth. I follow the movement with my eyes. I see. So your auditory understanding of language remains intact. By the way, how does the right side of your body feel? Could you try moving your right arm and leg? Why am I going along with this? Shouldn't I just like try to give him false information or something? But then again, the more I don't know. At this point, it's like, if I could make the argument that like, the more I try to interfere purposefully, the more he doesn't know, so the more he's gonna do to me, and the more that he would need to like torture other people. And if I refuse to cooperate, he could torture Dana. So I kind of agree with going along with it. After Kurita says that, I realize for the first time, I have no feeling left in the right side of my body. I try putting some strength into my right hand, but it doesn't move at all. Why is this happening to me? Someone save me. Reina. Reina. It's no good. I can't even say Reina's name right. I accidentally said Reina's name right because my brain kind of corrected the spelling error. Those are intentional typos. How could you? What point is there to this experiment? I guess the only silver lining is that I can still understand her words. There is a point. If he's able to use his power to recover all his last faculties, then that will mean your microchip is a resounding success, Orikasa-kun. Oh my god. And then now Reina's gonna feel like she did all of this. You'll finally have been of use to the medical world. It's like a dream come true, isn't it? Yes, it is a dream come true, as in a nightmare, because nightmares are also dreams. This isn't what... Long ago, there lived a French poet called Baudelaire. Baudelaire? I believe Baudelaire. When he was 45, he suffered from a cerebral hemorrhage and, like you, lost the ability to speak properly. Joy, anger, sorrow. The poet who'd been able to express those emotions with such depth was ironically reduced to cursing in despair after he was hospitalized. Good reference, if that's a thing. If that's actually a thing. Kusuhara-kun, if you're able to recover from this damage, then by investigating your recovery process, we'll be able to treat those who are like that unfortunate poet. Now you see, that would be awesome. However, the methods of researching this are pretty fucked up. Now then, next we'll test the limits of your spatial recognition. Kurita raises his hand once again. Oh my god, are they doing it again? I hear that high-pitched whir again. You know what? I'm going to put a warning in this video that says, like, be careful if you're squeamish. The next moment, a needle stabs into the back of my head. I thought there was going to be like a cracking sound or something. There's an extreme sense of pressure on the back of my head. The vibration is so strong it feels like it's tearing my skull apart from the inside. I close my eyes and grit my teeth. The term they use for it in psychology is visuospatial. Visuospatial. It's used specifically to mean the sense of perception you get from the visual information that passes through your eyes. Visuospatial, I believe that is. Sight is simply one of the senses. It's only when you've grasped the distance, direction, form, and depth of the object you're seeing and put it all together that it can be called perception. Oh, God. So, now let us see what happens if we destroy the cerebral area associated with one of those component factors of perception. Oh, is my vision going to get fucked up now? As the vibration grows stronger, my left hand and left temple start to hurt. All I'm capable of doing is praying for the pain to end. Eventually, the storm passes and the high-pitched whirring stops. What's going to happen when I open the eye? Oh, that's so fucked. Oh, this game just got really interesting again. This episode. Oh my god. Oh, fuck, and the music. Oh, I love this scene. Oh, this is such a good scene. It's so fucked up, but it's so good. Makes me so uncomfortable. When I open my eyes, I start shivering in fear. They're all like abstract paintings. What's going on? How does the world look in your eyes now? Just opening my eyes makes me dizzy enough to vomit. Within my warped world, I'm still able to make out Kurita smiling smugly. So even after having been driven this far, your power still doesn't activate. That in itself is very interesting. Death. Within my shattered consciousness, there's only one question that remains. Which would be more painful at this point, living or dying? He's stolen my finger, my words, and now even my spatial perception. What will he take next? My consciousness starts to fade. I no longer even feel the pain. I think I'm starting to go crazy. Or maybe I'm already insane. Maybe the very scene in front of me is just my imagination. I hear Kurita say in a kind voice, "Don't worry, we've made special care to keep his recovery abilities intact. Now then, next is..." As my consciousness fades away, I hear that whirring start up again. Please just stop. I don't want to lose anything else. Oh god. I keep screaming incoherently. Screaming is the only way I have left to assure myself I'm still in this world. But then suddenly my vision goes black, like a computer that crashed and shut down. I wasn't prepared for it all, and it just happened. Yet another thing has been stolen from me. What's next? How much more do I need to lose before it ends? I just keep screaming. But eventually I stop being able to hear even my own screams. What is this? I feel something warm on my right side and open my eyes. I'll keep going for a little bit. This is... I lift my head and look around. Is this Zelkova? There are a few wooden tables lined up, all cast in a warm orange glow. This is the inside of the cake store. Yeah, there's no one sitting at any of the tables. I thought I recognized this. There's no staff, no guests, no one here at all. Maybe I haven't seen this before, but this just appears like how a cake shop would look, so that's what I thought it was. I turned back to the entrance, but as I thought, there's no one there either. I had a feeling. Sutton's here. Ah, Hiro-kun! Finally awake? The sudden voice startles me and I reflexively stand up. What's wrong, Hiro-kun? Sutton's sitting on the seat across from me. I could have sworn there was no one in that seat a second ago. Sutton, you... You were off in dreamland again, I see, Hiro-kun. You still haven't finished your cake yet, you know? I look down at the table, and there is indeed a half-eaten shortcake in front of me. But I could have sworn there was nothing on the table a second ago. Oh, is he like fucking with my dreams? Oh my god, that would be insane. And that's not all. There's steam rising from a teacup filled with black tea next to it. I guess I really must have been daydreaming. I put my hand on the chair and sit back down. I can hear the voices of children from far away. The tea smells really good. Hurry up and finish your cake! Yeah. I pick up the fork sitting next to the plate and slowly cut a piece of cake. I then put the fork in my mouth. It's sweet. An elegant sweetness spreads through my mouth. I enjoy the sweet sensation of the whipped cream melting in my mouth. For some reason, I feel extremely happy to be able to enjoy a cake like this. Making sure it's really real, I slowly savor the sweet taste in my mouth. Hiro-kun, why are you crying? Huh? I bring my finger to my right eye. When I look at it, I see that it's wet. Why am I crying? Did you have a nightmare? Sutton looks at me worriedly. She takes out a handkerchief and gently wipes my eyes. The feeling of soft silk on my face is incredibly pleasant. I don't know. But for some reason I feel really happy right now. Oh my god. Oh, this is so fucked. The warmth of the sunlight coming in through the window. The nice orange color it dyes everything in. The sound of people bustling about outside. The fact that I can express my feeling in words still. The fact that I can move freely. All of it just makes me happy. Oh, is this gonna make Hiroki happy to be alive and like not feel depression as much anymore? It's a long shot, but I wonder. Like in the long run of the game, I mean. I see. Sutton finishes wiping my tears and puts her handkerchief on the table. You've endured so many painful things, Hiro-kun. Oh, does she know what's happening? Letting yourself get hurt? Losing so much for others? You've overcome so much suffering. Oh, man. But why do you have to suffer in the first place, Hiro-kun? Sutton. You've worked so hard. Always blaming yourself. Shouldering all those painful feelings. You've already worked hard enough, Hiro-kun. Oh, is she gonna say, like, it's okay to die? So it's alright. You don't need to suffer anymore. Yeah. Oh my god. That's fucked. I always wanted someone to say that to me. I wanted to be forgiven. That's why I kept hurting myself. Oh, was she saying that... Oh, okay. Was she actually saying, like, that, like, he's forgiven, that he doesn't need to, like, feel depressed anymore? If that's the case, that's way better. I thought she was saying, like, it's okay, you can die now. Oh my god. That's why I always picked the harder path. I chose to go where pain and suffering would be waiting for me of my own volition. I thought if I was able to endure through it long enough, someone would forgive me. They'd tell me it's okay to stop. It's okay to just forget it all. I've been waiting so long to hear that from someone. God, this game really does go into depression. I hear a sound coming from behind me. But when I turn around, there's still no one there. There's just the counter where you order cakes and the door. So what was that sound just now? I stand up and head towards the door. If you leave, you'll just suffer more. I stop and turn back to Sutton. This warm light, these vivid colors, those pleasant noises. You might lose them all again. You might have even more painful experiences waiting for you. That's right. I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want anything stolen from me anymore. Oh, Reina's gonna snap us out of it. So this is us, like, okay, so I'm pretty sure this is us hallucinating Soreno. And this isn't really Soreno, obviously. The hallucination of Soreno, one, forgave us, and that was enough for us to feel forgiven. But then it also is like trying to convince us to stay. I hear that sound behind me again. It's coming from the door. The outside world is just trying to steal something from you again, Hiro-kun. You don't need to go back to such a dangerous world. Oh, I was right. I was right from the beginning. The hallucination is trying to say, like, don't go back. Like, lose it. You're good. Oh my god. That's Dana. Again. In addition to the knocking, I hear a girl's voice. A voice I recognize. I turn back to the voice. I take a step towards the door. Hiro-kun, are you sure? Or maybe she's not trying to. You'll just have to go through more hardships. You'll just get hurt again. I know. Oh, maybe she's not trying to convince me to stay. She's just trying to make me understand. I don't know. She's not begging me to stay. She's just warning me. I don't know. If I step outside, I'll have to return to that place once more. But I can't just ignore her voice. I just can't ignore her voice. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. I take one more step towards the door. It's Dana. The voice of a girl I must never forget. Oh, that sent chills down my spine. Let's get a visual on that. Oh my god. That hit me. That hit me hard. The voice of a girl I must never forget. Oh, they could have just said her name. They could have just said girl. They could have said anything. But the way they said that, the way they worded that, the voice of a girl I must never forget. Oh, that's good. That is awesome. Oh, that is so emotional. I love that. Oh, man. That hit me. That hit my heart. I hear her voice clearly now. It's Dana's voice. Dana. I start running to the door as I call her name. Dana's calling for me. But when I finally reach the door, the knocking and Dana's voice both disappear. I look out the small glass window that's on the door. There's a blinding white light coming through, and I can't see Dana at all. I give the door a strong push, but it doesn't budge. Dana! I call Dana's name, but there's no reply. I pound on the door over and over with my right hand, but I don't hear any pounding back from the other side. Damn it! I push on the door with both arms and even my head. Suddenly, I sense someone behind me. Hiro-kun, why are you trying so hard to go outside? Do you really have to keep struggling? It's Soreno's voice. I answer without turning back. I don't like pain, and I don't want to suffer anymore. Honestly, I've thought countless times about how nice it would be if I could just be with you like this forever, Soreno. But there's someone who needs me over there. And there are still some things I need to find out. That's why. I need to go. Is this him letting go? Soreno, I'm sorry. I see. Softness. There's something soft gently pushing against my back. And warm hands hugging me from behind. Oh my god. Oh, maybe it is the real Sutton, like her spirit. I know you can still keep going, Hiroken. I hear Sutton's voice in my ear. So is this like our version of heaven or something? Sora! When I turn around, there's no one there. Oh my god, we just came to terms with the fact that we don't want to kill ourselves. Holy shit. The way that they expressed that is awesome! Oh, this game just got... Now, this is what I loved about this game. The feelings of, like, the way they make you go through the guy's depression and, like, understand it and experience it. That's the thing I loved about this game and its execution. Oh, I felt like it had been lacking in that for the longest time, and it's gotten back in there in stride. Oh, I love this. This is so good. It's so deep. So emotional. I love that. The warmth I felt on my back quickly vanishes. And of course, and Soreno didn't even like get mad. She forgave us completely. Oh god, I just got more chills. Oh man. The sound of townspeople bustling outside fades as well. We're breaking out of our shell. We're going back. There's no one here anymore. Oh my god. I'm like... Oh man, this is awesome. This is truly awesome. I square off against the door once more. I put both hands on the door and push. I put all my strength into it. This is so symbolic! But the door doesn't budge an inch. But I keep pushing anyway. Unrelentingly, do it, man! If I could just put some more power into it. Is it gonna break? I feel the door give slightly. Dazzling light pours through the small gap in the door. Oh, is this our will to live? What is this? But even now, the weight of the door pushes back against my arms. Making sure the door doesn't close on me again, I keep pushing. Continually. With yet more force. Open, damn it! Damn, good voice acting. Light floods my field of view. The ground, the walls, even my arms. All of it is blotted out by the light. Oh, yes, this game! This game got good again! I was so disappointed in this game that it had gotten kind of, like, a bit more bland and, like, disconnected, but it's gotten so much better again. An instant later, the bright light disappears, leaving nothing but blackness. Pretty sure my eyes are open, but I don't see anything. Hiroki! I hear Reina's voice next to me. Reina's right next to me. I can feel it. I feel like there's a lot of people around me. I guess I'm back in the Connect Center now. I wonder how long my consciousness was floating in that place. So that was like us on the brink of death. I don't know, but I'm back now. Reina's screams brought me back. Hiroki! You're still alive! I hear Reina's teary voice, but I have no way of knowing what kind of situation she's in right now. Reina. I still can't speak properly, and my head feels like it's about to crack open. I'm pretty sure my condition's even worse than before now. But for some reason I feel strangely calm. When I focus my concentration, I can feel the center of my body heat up, and then that tingly electrical feeling starts flowing through me again. When I clench my fist this time, I feel a surging of power that wasn't there before. I can do this. Oh, the music! I pour strength into my bound limbs, and almost instantly the belts all snap. My body is free again. I jump off the stretcher. I focus the nerves in my feet, preventing me from tumbling forward the moment I land. I hear a scream and turn my head in the direction it came from. As I do so, I realize something. My vision's still dark, but I can vaguely make out a person's silhouette now. Oh, it's coming back! The vision's coming back! And one more thing. I can move the right side of my body again. I timidly open my mouth. Reina? My speech has come back to me. Looks like my healing powers are working again. Reina, where are you? Hiroki, your words! I turn my head in the direction of the voice and see a much smaller silhouette. The moment after I register that it's Dana, I catch another silhouette rushing at me from the corner of my eye. You! The silhouette raises something overhead. See, this is what the fight scene should have been in this game. This is what I wanted! The moment he raises it up, his movements become slow. If you're that slow, I simply step back from the location he's swinging at and avoid his attack. Air whooshes past the left side of my face. Then I throw my fist at what I believe is his face. There's a slight tingling sensation in my fist, and the silhouette makes a strange noise as it crumbles. Hiroki, behind you! At the same time that I hear Reina's voice, I hear the air behind me shift. I reflexively twist around, bringing up my left hand. It's a new silhouette. He's holding an edge to something in his right hand. Perhaps surprised that I turn to him, he stops for a second. Then, using the momentum of my rotation to bolster the blow, I drive my left fist into his shoulder, or into his stomach, rather. He squeals, and then drops his weapon and collapses him to the ground. Shit! We need to hold him down! This time 3 silhouettes rush at me at once. With Reina guiding me, I mow all 3 of them down. There's a couple of screams and sounds of pain of people hitting the floor. Every time I hear someone fall to the floor, my vision gets a little better, and color starts returning to objects. By the time I've kicked everyone's ass, my vision's back to normal. Oh man, that's what I wanted the fight scenes to be in this game. I wanted them to be much more high intensity like that. Not like the dark and like underlying music of it and like sinister music. I wanted just the intense high octane music. That's what I wanted. Shoulders heaving, I look around the room. That's the first fight scene that I've like actually felt engaged in. There's close to 10 researchers all collapsed on the ground. And I can see Reina clearly now. She runs over to me. Are we gonna hug? Please hug. Yes! 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 Oh, yes. I agree. Reina jumps into my arms. Thank goodness. I thought you were gone for good, Hiroki. I was so scared. I was only able to come back because you kept calling my name over and over, Reina. When I thought I might end up all alone again, Reina doesn't say anything after that and just rests her forehead on my shoulder. I can feel Reina's warmth. I gently pat my head as we stay standing there like that for a few minutes. Eventually we both let go, and I realized that Reina's hands aren't bound anymore. Reina, what happened to the handcuffs you? Oh, I just borrowed that guy's MRD for a bit. Reina points to one of the researchers lying on the ground. The restraints binding Reina's hands come off. Looks like using electronic locks backfired on them. I see. I'm sorry for worrying you, Reina. I was so worried about you. I'm really glad you're alive. Reina slowly pats my arm and shoulders, as if to make sure I'm really there. However, she stops when she reaches my left hand. Oh, is the finger still gone? Now that I can see again, I look down at my own left hand. The place where my finger was cut off is healed over, and isn't bleeding anymore. However, no new finger has grown in its place. Has grown in its place. Does it hurt? Not really, but it does feel weird. I see. I think back to Aoi-san, desperately trying to hold back her feelings with her eyes shut. Then when she finally crossed that line, it seemed as if something invisible inside Aoi-san snapped. I turned back to look at the AR display, but Kurita's not there. The display itself seems to be off. Anyway, let's get out of here. Someone else might come after us. I go to check my MRD for the time. When I look at my MRD, I see a message informing me I've received the data packet. The sender is anonymous. Something wrong? Seems I've been sent something. This might be another trap. It's possible it's just another image of Aoi-san tied up somewhere. When I open up the data received, This is... What appears before us is a huge AR display showing a map. It's a map of a large facility. There's a number of rooms, all connected via a network of hallways that wind around like the roots of a giant tree. The top part of the map says Connect Center B7. It's a map of the Connect Center. There's 2 markers on the map. I like the soundtrack that's playing right now. This whole scene has been a lot better with music. One's a blinking yellow dot. The other's a large red double circle placed on a conspicuously large room. I move around the room a little bit as a test and see that the yellow dot moves with me. Looks like that yellow dot is showing my MRD's current location, which means the other marker, I guess it's telling us to go there. But who sent this? There are 2 possibilities that come to mind. The first is Kurita. He might be telling us his location on purpose to lure us into a trap. However, there's one other possibility, and it's totally something he would do. While I'm pondering my options, I hear the sound of footsteps in the distance. Whether we choose to follow the map or not, we still need to get out of here. Let's go, Dana. We nod to each other, and then run out of the room. One day left. Oh my god. I've got to stop there. I've got to stop there. Whew. I am amazed. Whoops, my bad. I messed that up. We're looking at the map and we're going through the corridors. I'm going to save it right now, and then I'm going to go to the title screen. Bam. And title. Holy fuck. Pardon my language. That was awesome. This game just totally reinvigorated itself. When I first started playing this game, I fell in love with how it messed with negative emotions. How it played on despair, on depression, on grief. It was something I'd never experienced in a visual novel before. Like, even later on, like Doki Doki Literature Club, I felt like fear or like unsettlement or like discomfort. I'd never been connected to a story with such genuine, I'd never been connected to a story with such genuine grief and like depression and longing and like all of these feelings. I was so impressed with how this game manipulated those feelings inside of me with the concept of someone losing someone very dear to them and desperately trying to fight back. And, you know, also the feeling of it not being worth it, you know, of giving up. Those were ideas that were messed around with in the beginning of this game, and I fell in love with it for that reason. That's why I decided to do a full playthrough of it. But I got so concerned because later on the game kind of devolved into this weird wild goose chase with Sigma, where we were getting like interesting facts, but we weren't getting like a cohesive reason for things happening. We weren't getting the same emotional ties. We were getting mystery and intrigue, and like it wasn't connecting. But this episode, this scene, this hour and 5 minutes or 10 minutes, however many minutes, has completely reinvigorated that inside of me. And in this game, I feel like I care again. Not like I didn't care it at all before, but like it felt like it was taking a cliff dive. It felt like the game was getting worse. And I think it was. But this scene just brought it right back up and even farther than it was before. And I sincerely hope that this game plays off of what it just did and just continues to impress me. That entire hour-long scene, or series of scenes, whatever you want to call it, that entire roller coaster of emotions, from from like from doubt and fear when dealing with Aoi to the genuine disbelief of seeing your finger cut off and them drilling into your head. And then the pain that you feel seeing Soreno telling Hiroki it's okay, you don't have to suffer anymore. You've been through so much. Why are you doing this to yourself? And then the reflection that Hiroki has, all he's wanted this entire time is for someone to say that it's okay, that he doesn't have to struggle anymore. But now that he's realized that, he realizes too that there is someone he needs to help him. There's someone that he needs to be there for. Someone that he cannot leave alone anymore in Reina. And so he goes back. He fights against the feeling of needing to be gone, of wanting to hurt until someone said it was okay. He was forgiven. And now he's determined. He's going to do what he set out to do. He's going to protect the one he cares about. And he's going to do what he set his heart to do. He's going to make things right. Oh my God. And then the feeling of elation, of relief when Reina and Hiroki see each other again. And they embrace, finally. Oh. So good. The emotional roller coaster there, the writing there, the way that they played that scene was so wonderful. The voice acting as well was great. I have never played a game with voice actors where I have heard such like agony in a voice actor. I've heard people die, I've heard people scream, I've heard people in pain. I've never heard that kind of anguish in voice acting before. Especially with Hiroki. Hiroki and Reina, those two, a voice actor and voice actress who played Hiroki and Reina. So many props. So unbelievably good in that hour-long session. That was incredible. That might be the single most like well-written out, like well-manipulated emotionally hour of a game that I've ever played. Like any game. I was so enraptured by that. That was so absolutely genuine feeling. And that is the thing I live for with these kind of games. I have nothing but praise for that past hour of gameplay. There was like one typo, and that was it. Like, they went there. They showed you the dark places that goes. They fucked with your head. In the game and back out here in real life. They made you think, oh fuck, they went there. And that was, I said it before, earlier in the episode, they needed to do that. Like, sure you can say, like, oh, there's no consequence, he's gonna get it recovered, but like, first of all, yeah, there kind of was a consequence, he lost his finger. But like, obviously it's not that big of a traumatization, but like, the result they got out of that, with not only a physical recovery, but like him becoming emotionally determined, that was wonderful. Nothing but praise. I am genuinely astounded by how good that was. And so I must say I'm re-enthused for this game. This game lulled me into a sense of worrying that it was going downhill and thinking that it was going downhill. And it shot itself right back up. I am genuinely reinvested. I'm officially reinvested. So, I mean, tell me if you feel that way too, guys. Tell me if you feel that way. Tell me if you don't feel that way. Tell me if I'm just high off the emotions I'm getting right now, but I appreciated that so much. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. I will always read them. I will always accept you guys' support. I will always take what you guys have to say into account. And I will see you guys next week for another episode of Memories Dogma Code 1. I am genuinely genuinely looking forward to this again for the first time in a while.